Peace and good morning to you. It is Monday, a whole nother week that you have the ability to do whatever you want to do, right? Just as honest. You have another week to do whatever it is that your heart desires, but it is completely up to you. Um, yeah, it really is. It's completely up to you. Like whatever thoughts and visions and whatever it is that you feel that you want to do this week, like what are you going to do starting today? Like, what are the action steps that you're going to actually apply to your day that is going to help and allow you to continue that process and actually complete some of the tasks that you may give yourself today or this week, whichever one it is for you. I mean, it's completely up to you. It's your responsibility to do it. It's your responsibility to make it happen. No matter how many times others may give you a recommendation. At the end of the recommendation, the actions is based on you and what actions you're going to actually apply yourself to, what actions that you're going to commit yourself to, and what actions do you actually want to hold yourself accountable for. That's what you have in front of you today. Okay, today is Monday, December the 26th. Is one day after Christmas. So for those who did a Christmas thing, the holiday thing with families and friends, whatever you did, I hope you had enjoy yourself, enjoy your friends, and enjoy your family as well. So today we're talking about. I need to change the caption. It's still up from yesterday. So let me change this caption real quick. That was from last week. But last week was good. Last week, Friday, we closed it out pretty strong. And what had come about from last week, um, that's where today's conversation comes from last week. And it was worthy of acceptance. Like that was from last week's podcast, Friday's podcast. So if you haven't listened to last week Friday's podcast, what I'm gonna do right now, I am going to go and drop that podcast inside of uh, the chat itself. It was called The Authentic You. That was Friday's podcast, The Authentic You. I'm gonna go ahead and put it inside the chat so you can go ahead and come back and listen to it. For those that may come and listen to it on the replay, make sure you go ahead and click that link that's inside the chat where you can go ahead and tap in and listen to what yesterday was about, and you're able to hear it. So again, good morning. It's Mr. R2 here at Consistency is Currency, your morning podcast of choice. And we're talking about worthy of acceptance. Worthy of acceptance. The word acceptance could be a very interesting word, especially for those who have gone through some things and those who are going through some things. Sometimes acceptance can really play a 50-50 role. You know, you have people to say, man, I don't care about nobody else. I don't need nobody's acceptance. Okay, cool. I got that. I get that type of energy. I get that type of tenacity. I mean, that's a lot of strength that you're holding for one person. But now let's tap into, do you hold that same energy for yourself? Like, do you really hold that same energy for you? That's what we're going to be tapping into with worthy of acceptance. Now let's go ahead and begin this process and what we're going to be talking about. Just like you always know, for those who are new to the platform, you may not know, but you're going to get definitions of words. You're not going to get etymology today, but you're going to get some definitions of words. And then we'll flip the definition. We'll invert it. It'll be either red over white or white over red. And those that are in red over white or white over red, just go ahead and if I say red over white, pay attention to the words that are in red. If I say white over red, pay attention to the words that are in white. And if there is something that you see or something that resonates with you, just go ahead and take what resonates with you and go ahead and put it inside the chat. Why? What happens when you do that? One, it allows other people to create dialogue with you. As well, it allows the live itself to get pushed up higher on your news feed. So before we jump into it, make sure you take this live. Go ahead and share it. Either share it on your timeline, or take the link and put it inside a Facebook group. Somebody that a group that you know that would be interested in tapping into what we're talking about today. So that's what I want you to do. And again, I appreciate you tremendously. All right, let's go. First definition that I want you to pay attention to today is the first definition of worthy, right? Having or showing the qualities or abilities that merit recognition in a specified way. So the inversion I want you to pay attention to on this one is white over red. Having the qualities or abilities that merit recognition. Having the qualities or abilities that merit recognition. Now, the having of the qualities and the abilities that merit the recognition, I'm talking about you seeing the qualities that you have and you recognizing the abilities that you have, and you're seeing it for yourself, not waiting for somebody else to see it, or waiting for somebody else to talk to you about it, or communicate with you about it, or pat you on the back, or rub you on the head, or give you the attaboy, that that sense of pride that you may get from somebody else. But can you give you the recognition and seeing what gifts that you have, seeing what purpose that you're living, seeing what processes that you have taken, having the quality or abilities that merit the recognition? Like, that's something that you should see for you, and not waiting for somebody else to show you that they accept you. But can you accept that? That's what you're worthy of. You're worthy of accepting you and accepting the qualities and the abilities that you have and recognizing it for yourself. And the second definition that I want you to pay attention to um, is this one, where it says the second definition of worthy, which is having worth or value and estimable. So having worth or value, estimable. There's no inversion on this because all of it makes sense, because I want you to tap in and I want you to understand why there was no inversion. Because for one, having worthy or value, that is something that you possess for yourself. That's something that you have to see, not waiting for somebody else to see, but can you see you? Like, can you see you for the greatness that you have for yourself? Can you understand that the value that you have is worthy of you understanding and recognize it for you? Not waiting for somebody else to recognize your value, not waiting for somebody else to recognize your worth, but can you see your very own worth and your very own value? And estimable, which means worthy of great respect. Like, can you respect yourself? Not worrying about if others respect you, but can you respect you? Because when you respect you, others is going to follow suit, because they see how you carry yourself. They see how you communicate. They see how you walk. They see the actions that you take. They understand your body of work. So they have no other option but to respect you, because they see the things that you have accomplished. They see the value that you have, and the worth and the self-worth that you have, which is something that is just going to begin to exude and to beam off of you, because they're going to see it, because they see how you carry you, and not waiting for somebody else to carry your emotional guilt. But can you walk out of your emotional guilt and to see the worth and the value that you have for yourself? The worth and the value that you have within yourself. Sometimes it's going to take time for you to see that. Peace. Good morning, Miss Godell. It's going to take time for you to see that. And why I say it's going to take time for you to see that, because a lot of times, especially in our late adult years, we begin to learn more about what our worth is. And we begin to learn more about how we are to value ourselves. And when we learn about how our worth is and how to value ourselves, then we begin to carry ourselves a lot different because there is some experience that we've gained, and that's going to tell us that we are just as worthy as the people that we place worth on. That takes experience. And when you value it, you begin to hold yourself at a different level of accountability because you know what you bring to the table and you know what you offer as an individual. Your presence is different. The respect level that you have for yourself and the respect level that others have for you, it begins to change because there was a shift in the paradigm that you have for yourself. And again, that's when you begin to walk with a different type of newness. And the first definition of acceptable is the action of consenting to receive or undertaking something offered. The action of consenting to receive or undertake something offered. And the inversion on this is the actions of consenting, because what I want you to pay attention to, and the reason why that I have inverted and left the action of consenting, because acceptance is an action word. It is an action word. Like, what do you actively do that you accept from you? What respect or what value have you created for you? Because the action of consenting is what? Consenting to give yourself permission to the action that something is going to happen. Like, right? Like giving yourself permission to start your process of healing. Because it is a process. It's not something that just you snap your fingers and you're healed. It is a process. I have accepted the process of healing. So therefore, I am going to acknowledge the things that I do that is going to bring worth and bring value in my process of healing. Giving yourself permission to grieve is accepting the process of what grieving is, because you know how worthy you are in accepting the truth. Like saying, I'm still grieving, but I am working on it. That's you accepting the process of healing by acknowledging that grieving is something that you have to accept in order for you to develop the process of healing. But you're going to be worthy of accepting it when you see it and recognize it for yourself. Not what others see or say about you, but what do you say to you? What do you say to you when you're in those types of processes, whether it is healing or whether it is you acknowledging and respecting yourself far greater than anyone ever can respect you, far greater than what you can say to somebody else, but can you say it to you? Because if you can't say it to you, then how you have a high expectation of someone saying it to you? I mean, you don't exude that type of energy. You don't exude that type of power. You don't even have that type of commitment. So how do you have that expectation of someone else committing to you and to what you say when you don't even commit to you at all? Right? So what we're going to do is we're about to go in the process of the deep dive. And of course, we're going to be diving deep, talking about you are worthy of acceptance. Like, what if we begin to pour that into our children? Like telling them you are worthy of acceptance. Like you accepting you. You accepting you and your strengths. You accepting you and understanding that there is something that I need to work on. And if I don't work on it, then I can't complain about what someone else is not doing because I'm not working on me for myself. It's easy to point the finger. but can you look within? Because operating in your acceptance is a powerful self-loving experience that only you can give yourself, right? It is a powerful self-loving experience that only you can give yourself. Why? Because it's one of the greatest gifts that you probably could have given to yourself yesterday, like accepting where you are, looking at it, but you can then go ahead and begin to change the process on what you're going to do different for yourself. But it's a gift. Like, you're worthy of acceptance is a gift to you that you give to yourself. Like, you know what? You're right. I see this. I see that I'm here because I've done this. And then now my tomorrow begins working in the process of my today, because many of us have began operating on how other people have been accepting us for far too long. And because we are operating based on how other people have accepted us, we have begun to make excuses on what we do or don't do because we're basing it based off of how others have accepted us. So now I want you to say, like, no excuse, no complaints, because you can't complain about what's not happening for you if you're not actually engaged on making it happen for yourself. No excuse, no complaints. Because one thing, you can't continue to walk around boldly speaking about what you don't accept from other people, because it's easy to speak on how and what you cut other people off for, but that's the same thing that you do to yourself. Like, what you don't accept for others, but you do accept it for you. Like, you're not cutting yourself off from the same thing that you would normally cut other people off from. You let yourself get away with it. You would tell yourself that I got more time, I'm cool, and you start procrastinating with the time that you do have. But then you would tell other people that your time is precious, but you inefficiently use your time. Now, yeah, that may hurt, that may sting a little bit, but you have to look at the reality of it. The same thing that you say other people is inefficiently using your time, or the same thing that you say other people's wasting your time for, how much time have you wasted on yourself? Because you didn't give yourself the same type of energy that you have given to somebody else, of what you're not going to do or what you're not going to accept. But I want you to look at yourself and say, these are the things that I'm no longer going to accept for me, and I'm worthy of my acceptance because I know that I did it. I can't blame it on you. I can't blame it on mama anymore. I can't blame it on daddy and anybody else, because there's something that I must look at for me. If I am ever going to bring some sort of respect value and some honor and some value to me, I must look at me and see what I'm doing. And then when you do that self-examination of that self-love that you have for yourself, then I want you to tell yourself that I am worthy of acceptance. It's just saying it alone, it just feels like there is a new process of connecting with your inner you, because it feels different. Because the energy and the love that you have for yourself is tried and true, because there is something that you wanted more and you actually went out and you did it. You actually reached up and you grabbed it. You actually took the steps that was going to take you from point A to point B. And then once you have acknowledged the steps that you've taken from point A to point B, you now committed to completing the rest of the way. The journey is only achieved by those who understand the path. I can see the path that I'm on. So now the journey is just going to become that much more accomplished by me, because I understand that I have to continue to move on. I have to continue to take these steps. I have to continue to be committed to the process. I have to continue to allow myself to take this momentum and allow that momentum to begin to push me in a direction that's progressive. And you're worthy of the acceptance. You're worthy of your process. You're worthy of acknowledging that it's going to take you to understand what your worth is in order for you to have a value that you can hold yourself committed to. It's not about how other people commit themselves to you. It's not about how other people accept you, but can you accept you? Especially when times get hard, we want to talk about what others haven't done to us in our lives, but we can't really look at the mirror and tell ourselves, what have I done? What could I have done different? What could I have said different? What are the areas of responsibilities that I hold true to the value that I have of myself, with myself, about myself, for myself? That's when change takes place. Change only takes place when you accept the things that need to be changed. And when you look at it from that perspective, I'm going to say that again. Change only takes place when you accept what the change that is needed to be changed. And when you know what, I'm worthy of the acceptance because I have to accept that this thing needs to be changed about me. And then you take the first step. You open the door and you walk out. Because you all know the first step on getting to the other side of the door is what? Acknowledging that something on the other side of the door is there for you. That's the first thing. You can't walk through the door without acknowledging there's something on the other side for me. And then after you commit yourself that there is something on the other side for you, you reach out and you turn that knob. You're not asking, is the door going to work? You're not asking, is the doorknob going to be locked or unlocked? You have an expectation that when I open this door, that there is something on the other side for me. Commit yourself to the other side. Commit yourself to the change. Acknowledge that change is the acceptance of the value that you bring to the table. Change is the acceptance of the value that you bring to the table. You're worthy, your self-love, your inner connections, your inner voice, your inner conversations, all of these things that you have with yourself add on to you being worthy of your acceptance. Be strong, be bold, be relentless, be loving, be kind, be smart, be brave, be encouraged. All of those things I said be that. And then after you have done all of that, be okay with the decision that you made. Stop second guessing your decisions, because a lot of times when you second guess your decisions, you second guess what it's supposed to be yours. Like, man, am I supposed to have this? Yes, you're supposed to have that. You work for it, right? Go get it. Go do it. And accomplish those things, because it is waiting on you to show yourself accountable and accept it and then action it. All right, that's enough. Good morning, Miss Antoinette. Appreciate you for being here. Commit yourself to the other side and commit yourself to the change. 100%. It's not about how other people accept you. 100%. Like, can you accept yourself? Knowing our worth and value increases our confidence. That is 100%. That's like glue. Your worth and your value is the glue to keep your confidence. Because when those two words stick together to your commitment, your confidence level is going to skyrocket. Your worth and your value. Now the confidence is already there. It becomes plug and play. Like, okay, I'm gonna start this today at 1 o'clock. All right, I got it. This is what I want to do. This is where I want to go. This is how I want to do it. This is what time I'm going to start, and I want to be finished by this. Then your confidence level is going to begin to skyrocket because now you're going to say, after you have accomplished that thing before, you're like, I'm ready for the next thing. I'm ready for the next task. I'm ready for the next process. Like, let's go and commit yourself to the risk because if you've done it before, you can do it again. You have accomplished before, you can accomplish it again. Then everything that you do just becomes worthy of your acceptance. And that's when the wash, rinse, and repeat process then takes place. All right, that's enough. Man, I'll see you tomorrow here at Consistency is Currency, your morning podcast of choice. I don't know what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. It'll come out. You'll see once you tap in. If you ever want to go back and listen to what we talk about, go to the YouTube page and type in Consistency is Currency. You're able to see all of the other episodes that we have. I think we're on episode 250 right now. So you're able to go back and see all of the other stuff. Or if you just want to hear it, go to iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, and you can go ahead and just listen to it, play it while you're walking, while you're running, while you're driving. So I'm not telling you to go ahead and go to YouTube and watch it while you drive. I want you to be safe. Go listen to it on a podcast where you can just ride and listen the whole way. All right. Hey, I appreciate you 1000% here at Consistency is Currency, your morning podcast of choice. Y'all be blessed. Peace.